So gentlemen, you remember at the very beginning where we talked about this show would never be complete without some kind of technical hoo-ha messing it up, and all
What'd you
that good
break?
stuff. So,
He didn't record it.
you know, yeah, we're recording now.
All right, so we got to start all over again.
No way. We're not going back. We don't go back for no one.
Well, at
That's
least
what
if
he
you
said.
had it, if you at least had it on Twitch, so that it would record your VODs,
That's what
you
I'm
could at
wondering.
least grab it off the VOD. Like I do that a lot.
Okay. Well, I'll have to look into
He'll
that.
probably want a cliff note on that really quick after we're done with the thing. I promise you'll be golden. Thank you. Anyway, to continue on with the show while he's digging in his box of goodies, we also
Welcome to
have.
Station 42, where
Well,
tonight we're having a
welcome.
guest on.
Yeah, our guest is ZMan. So if you're tuning in late, just so you know,
Tuning in late,
you
tuning in
missed
live.
all the good part where we talked about all the leaks. Now,
All right, so now we talked about the Aegis Terrapin. Moving on. No, I'm joking.
All right, yeah. So the Origin 600. What the hell do you guys think that's going to be? Like, because so they've got the Jump, so big luxury craft. They've
Cross
got the,
between the Jump and the little bitty shits that I never have an interest in.
Hey, that'd be pretty nice. No, well, I mean, you got to consider. Okay, so like the 300 series is a kind of a multi-purpose, semi-luxury platform. I call it the Mustang of it's like the ship you buy your 16-year-old daughter, so she can look cool, but really it's not really a racer.
I see. This is Origin's version of the Hummer.
Oh, you think so? That would be actually
A lot bigger.
interesting. Well, that actually be interesting because they've got the M50 Racer, they've got the 350R Racer, then they got the 325 and 300i 315 for some other personal craft kind of roles for somebody who wants to have a nice car, and then you've got
So what they're
the
gonna put the
luxury yacht. So the 600, what the hell, I mean, maybe
It's the SUV line of Origin. It's the I
The
can't
crossover.
can't afford an 890, and I'm too
Yeah, it's
no,
like
rich.
a crossover.
I don't even think that would even be in the ballpark of the 890. I mean, the 890 is almost
600, 300.
It's a sub Corvette sized
What a
super
820
yacht.
looks like.
But so I'm thinking more like freelancer size. You think?
Rude Boy
Maybe.
saying it's like the Planet Express.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be awesome.
it moves the space around the ship.
Right. So anyway, all right. So that's the Hurricane, the Origin 600, the Banu, the Aegis, Eclipse. Now we've got
Somebody out there is going to be mad at us because they didn't hear us talk about the Banu. I'm sure. Were you on Twitch or were you just not recording?
I was not recording on
Oh, yay!
on
Okay.
OBS
Yeah, which
Okay,
is what I
okay.
normally upload to
bonus.
YouTube. But hopefully, if I
Okay.
can somehow magically pull it down off of Twitch, then
What you need to do right now, or
Uh-huh.
sometime while we're talking, is go into your dashboard and make sure that you have your VOD set, because it should be keeping them backlogged right now.
Okay.
But as soon as OBS stops sending the stream, it's gonna lose it.
Gotcha.
Before you click stop streaming, make sure you have gone to your dashboard and found the VOD button.
Do what the man says. Do it now.
I'm working on it. All right,
Meanwhile, we're talking about the 85X while he's working on it.
yeah.
and it's gonna be
we
the-
know what that is, but
It's a little luxury yacht thing that hops onto the 890 and hops back off. That way you can go get Wilson to go get your booze on the
Yeah.
fly.
Or more girls. You always need more strippers.
Yeah.
Alien
Yeah,
planets.
but you can only do unless it's maybe I don't know. That's a bad joke. I ain't gonna go there. It's like you can only fit one person at a time. And it's so it's like you got two people, so you'd have to make a lot of trips, and that seems inefficient.
Yeah, well, I hope it's a convertible, man, because you could at least stack a bunch of them inside.
It was get you a little U-Haul behind it.
Right? Yeah, I need a trailer.
so my noob is showing. Where the hell is the dashboard again?
And you're so you click your little picture down on the left.
You heard it here first, folks. This is
There we
David's
go.
time.
Okay. For some reason, I was looking in the upper right-hand corner. All right.
Yeah, they moved it around a bit.
I haven't mentioned anything about concrete, bricks, or chainsaws yet, so I'm doing great.
You're so funny. All
Aha.
right, so what am I looking for in here, real quick? Video manager. I hate your face, Adrian. Well, you just wait. I'm gonna pass this off on you and make you do this once, and we'll see how this rolls.
I know it's a bitch. I apologize.
So yeah,
Video manager.
video manager, and there should
Okay.
be. I
Past
had
broadcast. No videos found. Videos.
does this say enable past broadcasts? VOD system, video on demand system.
No, you can
Have to-
click on past broadcasts and highlights, and that's it. And it shows nothing under that.
Hang on. All right, well, keep going on with the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Let me get more info for you. Hang on.
Anyway, we have, like I said, the Origin 85X, and that's going to be the little, luxury.
X85. Come on, get it right.
85X, X85. Actually, that's your type up. Let's see, Miss Racer or Rover. Rover?
Well, it could be either. They,
coming over?
They couldn't. I guess they couldn't decipher it. They needed it more enhanced power.
Okay, and in concept is actually the F8 Lightning. That's going to be one of the Anvil ships, and I understand it's guns plus guns with a little dash of guns.
Nice. Lots
Yeah.
of guns. So it's the Matrix ship.
Basically, yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be the one that that Anvil's replacing the Hornet with, the contract that.
It's the new Hornet, basically.
Right, and it really does look really sexy. I mean, it reminds me of the Saber, and the fact that the Saber looks all smooth and fast and everything, but it really kind of has a large cross section, at least from above. I mean, head on it's thin, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be the one that the players are not going to be able to get, easily. Whereas, like, it used to be that the Super Hornet or the FA. The F7A was the one that we weren't supposed to be able to get. Now we're going to be able to kind of do it in the verse by doing
Putting the skin on.
Yeah, the upgrade, the body kit, and then
But it's not the same though.
Right. Well,
you won't get the military weapons. You won't get the military shields.
Correct.
You won't get the military avionics.
But Chris, at the very end of that whole campaign a few years ago, came
Said
back and said that if you were going to be able to do it, the first step along the series of things that you had to do to get the full F7A,
the kit,
with the full thing was the kit. So, which is funny because, yeah, they flip-flopped on that. So I think that's probably why the F8 came around, because they decided that, if they were going to give that up, And then again, the whole definition of military ships and what that meant in the game, it used to be that, it's military grade was this big thing that all the players were like, my ship's the military grade one versus the non. Now it's just like it's a non-meaningful title.
Yeah, that I remember the Vanguard having that military grade issue. One minute it was a military grade, the next day it was not exactly. So yeah.
And then there was some butt hurt there.
Hey Traz, I found that. Then you ready?
Yeah.
Ready to do this? All right, go in your settings tab. Right, it's the one that looks like a wrench.
All right, settings. So go back to the base.
Yep.
All right, hang on.
Settings, and then go to channel.
We apologize for the technical difficulty that you're experiencing.
Please stand by.
Got it.
Channel. Go to channel.
Got it.
Go down to channel settings, and where it says archive broadcast, click that automatically archive my broadcast checkbox.
We need a Pip-Boy screen for these kind of things.
Save changes. Oh yeah. All right,
Nuka-Cola.
I hope it's saving not from just this moment.
It shouldn't be. I don't think it should. It should be from anytime you put it up to Twitch,
Right.
because it's
From this
this broadcast.
Yeah, and it'll be sitting in its buffer. So
We're hoping so, anyways.
right. Oh man, way to go, Mr. Trazion. Thank you.
Oh, here, Rude Boy put in how to do it right in chat, and no one was paying attention. So thank you, Rude Boy.
Thank you.
Well done, good sir. Well done.
And ready for sale is the Terrapin.
Oh yeah.
You want to read it? Read it.
Yeah,
read it.
I know. I will. So I mean, that's a little bit crazy though. So we're gonna have the flight ready Reliant. We're having 2 Argos that are going to be in 2.5, and they're saying that. So the leak says the Terrapin is ready for sale. That means, they're just like, well, whenever we're ready to drop that in. So will that be the secret Uber surprise, or will it be like you said, the Dragonfly being flyable surprise, in 2.5, or it'll just be something else altogether? But anyway,
Herald.
The Herald.
That'd be amazing. I can't wait to
That's
run around.
possible too.
Yeah.
I would love to have that.
I
The
suspect
super duper surprise will be the persistent universe is live.
Super duper
Surprise!
You get to have another
we got
bill.
100 starting systems ready to go.
Actually, here you go. Here's your super duper surprise. You ready? The Big Benny's vending machines actually work.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
You can actually buy something else with your your Alpha UC.
Alpha UC, and you pull it out, and you have an animation to drink your Big Benny's noodles and slurp them. Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd still be pretty fun.
That would be awesome.
I have news
it
for you though.
Replaces health.
I have news for you though.
Yeah.
The Big Benny's machine does already work as an MP3 player.
Oh well, yeah.
Get close enough to it, it plays music.
Wow. Okay, that's a new one on me.
So does that mean that you can go into your files and put your own MP3s in, and when you go next to it, it plays like something else?
Yes. It's called a jukebox though in your hangar.
Yeah, well, that didn't work for a long time. I guess it's working now, but I don't know if I've put in custom music to see if it's.
I haven't used that thing in.
I gotta read this for comic relief. It's just killing me. The Aegis Terrapin, a literal tough nut to crack. The Terrapin is the most heavily armored of the base-price spacecraft on the market. Originally described as a long-range survey missions in dangerous star systems, the Terrapin's design philosophy involves wrapping the ship in additional layers of armor and bacon and cheese and reserving a significant amount of engine power to host the largest fuel generator in its class. The Terrapin is popular among private miners, private people that like to blow shit up, with an equipment mount and a small storage so that you can be converted to all those wonderful valuable minerals or body parts.
Yeah, so
that'll be
interesting. Like,
I like the bacon.
I wonder how it'll compare against the Prospector, because the Terrapin was my actual first choice during that poll, and the Reliant won out over it. The Reliant beat it, and then the Dragonfly was right behind it. I
voted Dragonfly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard choice because the Dragonfly concept appealed to me, but at the time I put away my own personal desire for a ship, and I voted based on what I thought the ship lineup and community needed most. And at the time, there was no small scale mining vessels at all. We had the Orion, and that was it. And so I'm glad to see it making a comeback. Although they did suggest that these new starter ships that they were looking at wouldn't necessarily be exactly as their original format, but instead be retooled to be in line with whatever the needs of the universe were right now. So I doubt it'll match up exactly, but I'm still pretty excited. Terrapin, woo! Actually,
I'd like to have something like that, just kind of a tanky, incredibly hard to beat up kind of ship,
Yeah. Well,
give me a good...
It'll be interesting whether or not you can even convert it into any kind of like combat viable or not. But it doesn't necessarily sound like it. But we'll see.
Just throw a whole bunch of C4 in it and let some noob just shoot the shit out of it. There you go. Be done with it. Boom.
Set to self-destruct and then abandon ship.
Hey, you want a free ship? Here you go.
Right. Yeah, no. So I guess the leak was the big information for this week, or a big part of it, not counting like all the other release stuff that we saw, like the Bengals and everything else. General game updates. The ZMan Scout saw a fuel tank size bump. Yay! If that's your primary ship. Some fixes for the Mustang Delta and the Cutlass for collisions. Yay!
ZMan's gonna rent himself a ZMan ship now.
Right.
Yeah. Why? Because he got a fuel bump.
Yeah.
It's still no fuel light, so it's worthless to me. So.
Well, and that's,
doesn't matter how big the tank is, I'm still gonna run it out. It's just
no. Well, maybe that's the magical ZMan tech. It's got a fuel light. That's
no
what
way.
it is.
Wow.
Humans cannot perceive or conceive of the fuel light.
The fuel,
right.
Yeah,
900 years in the future, there's some barrier in our DNA that prevents us from creating.
It's like we can't see that color spectrum. We can't see the fuel light spectrum.
Right.
Wow.
We have. See, this is my biggest gripe about that. They have like this bitchin' Betty that's constantly yelling at you, collision right, down. Collision left, your shields are down, weapon system offline, but there's nothing that says your fuel is low. Right. But how more fuel is low? 4 words. They can't put that in there.
Fuel is low. Red spaceship needs food badly.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, that's my big gripe. So on my channel, we have a command. I make the viewers keep track of my now. You gotta realize there's a 30-second stream delay, but I have the viewers keep track of my quantum fuel because I just for some reason I have a blind spot. I can't see that thing down there, and they put in exclamation point fuel, and I have a bitch and Betty tell me fuel is low. So. You guys can stop by and try it out and yell at me. You know, there's bacon, there's coffee, there's low fuel because those are the things that you need the most in space.
Yep, sounds legit to me. Sounds legit. Yeah, the you know, the Xi'an Scout too is a little bit of a sore point for some of the community. I have my complaints, but I mean I trust CIG to get around to looking at it. I don't know that we're ever going to see that second pilot seat, which is a little frustrating just because since they devolved the Scout from its original armament specifications during the concept sale, you know, because when it sold, it was about the same price as a Super Hornet. And its armament that it was listed to come with was on par with a Super Hornet. Maybe not as versatile, but it was pretty heavily gunned. And so I was really looking forward to it. I figured it would be lighter armor, and you know, same weapons roughly, and with, you know,
quicker, more maneuverable.
Right, and so it'd be kind of a comparable thing, you know. But you know, then they took it to the Scout place where they decided that they wanted it to be a Scout on a par with human scouting. In other words, like, you know, not heavily armed, which is fine.
But I like this one.
I
like this one thing about it. Now we actually have an in-lore excuse. The Xeon did not want us to have the superior version of their technology, so they gave us the old ones.
Well, that's fine. That's fine and dandy. That then you just make sure that the one that they have is like heavily armored or, you know, weaponized.
I don't doubt that.
But the thing is with this is like the reason that you would have that second person is because the first person is the pilot and the second person handles all your scouting. Yeah, your sensory equipment and stuff like that. So, you know, I just don't know. Like, I don't know how are they going to make it worth the money. You cannot say that, oh, well, it's an alien ship, so therefore, you know, because it's cool and alien, it's rare, because that would hold true with a blade. It would hold true with, you know, a glaive or a scythe. But unfortunately, that doesn't hold weight when this ship was sold just as uncommon as, you know, as the, you know, as a Super Hornet. You know, I mean, more people bought the Super Hornet because it was flyable longer and, you know, is a much more stable platform in the game. But
bring a friend,
right? But
well, the thing about the Super Hornet, you get me started on the Super Hornet. How many they've sold of that? But
yeah, I know. Originally, that was supposed to be something a little more limited and special.
Yeah,
I actually fell out of love because it got so kind of popular and easy to have. But you know, I guess I understand too, because you got to consider the Hornet series was their original platform ship. So by far it's the ship that has the least problems with it, you know, the least weird bugs and inconsistencies. So, but
my poor Delta.
Yeah. Well, no, at least the Delta's gotten a little bit of love lately, so that's good.
You just got to duck when you get in. But the Xi'an, back to the Xi'an real quick. You can't tell me that they're gonna, like, the Banu are gonna give the a planet that has the United States on it a demilitarized version of a ship, and we're not going to remilitarize it.
Oh, right,
you know?
Yeah. I'm sure we'll
but
try.
We're going to slap as many guns on that bad boy as we can. We'll be pulling guns off of the Bengal carrier and strapping them onto a Xi'an Scout.
Where'd that alien ship land? Texas? Oh, dear God.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for them to go into more of the deep dive stuff. I mean, maybe Tony Z will touch on it with, you know, or when the designers get freed up and they start touching on those documents again, we'll actually see something regarding what their future plans are for exploration. Because exploration, when pulled to the community, you know, the CIG was surprised that exploration played so heavily into what players were interested in experiencing. So, but we really haven't seen a whole lot talking about that. Not officially, not in a long time. So, you know, hopefully the Scout will get an overhaul that makes it worth, you know, it's what you paid for it. Because I've got 3 of them in my personal fleet because I was banking on them being a functional and useful ship. And as much as I love the way it looks and transforms, I don't know. Its maneuverability doesn't. Okay, so it's got good strafe maneuverability, but they gave it a racing ship profile. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like the Gladius, the Saber, all the racing ships, they accelerate really rapidly, but they slow down very slowly. And that's fine for a human ship with the big old engines on the back, but you can't copy paste that flight model profile over to a Xi'an Scout and say that fits, because the whole thing with the Scout is it's supposed to be flying on maneuvering thrusters to begin with. They're larger, but it should be able to strafe, slow down, and accelerate all at about the same high speed. That would give it the maneuverability that would fit, I think. Because as a dogfighter, I find that one of the most critical attributes in a dogfight isn't my acceleration or top speed; it's my deceleration. Well,
hold on.
I find that my strafe is the most important, but okay.
Well, yeah, I don't mean to, but strafing backwards or slowing down is one of the strafes.
So and strafing backwards is just as fast as strafing forwards.
Oh, with your maximum top speed. But I'm talking about, like, if you're going full speed and you go to slow down and it takes you 4 times as long as it took you to get to your top speed forward.
I don't find that flight model be the case at all. If you're trying to use like the space brake and stuff to slow down, it's not going to work. It really doesn't. But using dual 6 and strafing backwards, I found is like ideal. You have to watch some gameplay.
It's like okay, if for instance the 350R takes like 12 to 16 seconds if you're not using boost to come to a full stop from full speed, whereas accelerating to full speed is a third or a quarter of that time. So so whereas like the 325 slows down much quicker. Well, I mean, the way I use my throttle is when I pull my throttle back, it applies strafe backwards. When I step on my left pedal, it applies space brake. I use strafe backwards more to slow down than I do space brake, because space brake will bring me on heading, which means I'm more likely to crash into what I'm braking or curving around. Whereas when I slow the other thing down, because I fly decoupled mode, so it maintains my vector more evenly while also slowing down my speed. So it's just one of those things that I feel like the Xi'an Scouts model needs to still be more alien than it is. Right now it still feels like they went with a base human racing ship model, took it over, gave it a little more strafing power for left, right, up, down, and then just called it a day. So that's just my perception. So I mean, I'd have to.
Moving on, Caterpillar.
You'd have to science the hell out of it.
Oh, and I've done that with many a ship, and end up doing it every damn patch. So I've given up on doing it on every ship, every patch. But
that's why I stick to one ship, and that's it.
Anybody want to have a hospital caterpillar? Let's see you say that 5 times as fast. Hospital caterpillar.
Hospital caterpillar.
Hospital.
You got to sing it like Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Hospital caterpillar time. No, that doesn't work. Damn it. Anyways.
No.
Hospital caterpillar. Hospital. Okay, that's it.
Me personally, no. So yeah. So like someone gifted me a Cutlass Red.
Ooh.
At one point. Someone gifted me a Cutlass Red at one point, and I don't want okay, you guys.
I do that in real life. I don't want to do that shit in game.
Exactly. I want nothing to do with that. Like I want to be a spaceman. I don't want to be an EMT in space.
Yay.
Which is interesting, because when I joined the military, we were going to have this conversation before, and I guess we kind of slipped past it. But a buddy of mine was a Navy recruiter, and I joined when I was a little bit older, so like I was too old for the Marines, too old for Air Force, and I was right at the cutoff before they raised the age limit. I was 34 when I joined, and my buddy's a recruiter, and I'm like, hey man, my doubts are I don't have any family, any history with the military. I don't want to get screwed, And he was like, no man, we're friends. I'll take care of you. Come in, we'll do the ASVAB. We'll figure out what you can do. And so we did that. And I was, I'm a dive master in the real world, and I've done a lot of rescue diver, and I've done a lot of Hey,
and you got Scuba Steve right in chat.
Yeah,
you guys can
I saw that. I see a Texas. Is that Texas?
Texas State. Yeah,
awesome.
He's one of Scuba Steve's one of my moderators. He's an excellent dude. Always building communities.
Hello, Scuba Steve. Yeah, so I was interested in doing like search and recovery and doing like rescue operations and doing that kind of medical, enhancing that aspect of it, and he couldn't give it to me because Navy, like when you recruit with them, they don't like. It was during the we were having a depression and like he was like, yeah man, the lines are out the door with people joining, there's no way I can guarantee a rating for you. Let me introduce you to my Army buddy. He's a recruiter, and I'll talk to him and make sure that he takes care of you. And they did. My recruiters, I actually have nothing bad to say about my recruiters. And anyway, I ended up not going into the medical field because I was a little disappointed that if you go in and you serve 2 years as a combat medic, you come out and it barely translates into an EMT certification, and I can do that in a semester of college. And I already had that level of training anyway. So, anyway, so I ended up going another route in my MOS. But I still have a very soft spot in my heart for emergency first responder, life-saving, so,
Yeah.
I did that a lot.
So you never actually did it in the military, right? And you don't
well, I've been through everything all the way up to the medical training that we're not supposed to talk about. So
right. So you had the training, but you haven't actually done. So I do it every day for 12 years. So it's a lot different.
Oh no, yeah, I hear you. That's So,
you're a brave man.
Are
I'll
you
give
gonna,
you that.
Are you gonna do it when you're are you retired now or?
No. I'm still currently firefighter for City of Bethlehem in Pennsylvania. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's right. You okay, right.
I did 4 years active duty in planes. I flew on C-2A Greyhounds onto carriers and stuff, and was a jet mechanic, plane captain, blah blah blah. So
very nice.
Aviation's in my blood.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of fun.
And I got all this information just from asking Hospital Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Ain't that awesome?
And this is how 2-hour shows are born, folks.
This is how 2.5-hour shows are born.
Just think of how much entertainment we are providing.
I hope so. I mean, are we entertaining folks? God, I hope so.
We're probably somebody somewhere. I hope. Chirp, chirp. Damn it.
Where's the crickets?
Yeah, that's the same for me with my ASVAB. When I went through it, they were like, yeah, you can pretty much do anything you want. And then I'm like, that's great. And then I spent like 6 months going in every week, and every month we would look at the rota of MOSs that came open, and they're like, oh, there's nothing I want to do because I don't really want to fire Patriot missiles, and I don't really want to be, an ammo guy.
Yeah.
So
they were like, you want to be on nukes? I said, hell no. I said, I'll fly on and off of them, but I'm not gonna. Who the hell wants to be a submariner?
I know a guy who's a submariner. So.
Yeah, I know a few, and they're cool dudes, but hey, not me, man. Don't put me in a tin can underwater. I want to be in the sky. I want to be free.
Although
that would be, if I could, that would be the one thing that I would actually want to do, the silent service.
Luck, man. I would go nuts.
Yeah.
Stir crazy maybe, but hey.
What I will recommend, speaking of subs and submarines, is I've been playing this game I picked up on Steam called Subnautica.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's very popular on Twitch right now, too.
Yeah. It's super fun. It's very there's a lot of things in it that I hope StarCitizen is paying attention to, CIG is paying attention to, as far as
they do. All those guys play
of exploration. So I mean, it's great.
They probably play. I'd say that they probably play the same games as you do, Trask.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, then again, like, you put in 40, 50 hours a week on the community, and it's like you barely play any games at all. So it's like, honestly, this is the first game I've played besides StarCitizen that has, like, captured my interest enough that's, what I've been really into in a while. One of the biggest things about it was, like, I was exploring this, like, you'll find these derelict pieces of wreckage of their big ship crashed on the seafloor, and you can cut your way in, and you can dive in and swim through the 3D space of the ship. The thing is you might come upon different sections of the ship, so the layout is different, and you're trapped inside of like miniature corridors and air ducts, and you're trying to find your way and navigate. And if the ship is turned on its side, it changes everything, your orientation, and it's just crazy. So it's infinitely, more challenging, even if you're going through a ship that you've been through before, if it's turned, on a different horizontal. Of course, in space, we'll be able to reorient ourselves, as opposed to like in a game where you're doing scuba, it's like you're always kind of, you still have that, that up and down. But it's, oh man, I cannot wait to explore derelicts in Star Citizen. It's going to be mind-blowing.
It is. Oh, so not to go off of the sheet, guys, but
no, all the time.
Since you brought up exploration, No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, win gold! Holy crap!
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, I haven't put money into it, but I plan on picking it up when it releases, so I'm excited. I mean, I know that the negative things that are said about it is that it's not going to be this, and I got it, but that's okay.
Of course,
the things about it that are great are going to be great, and I'm going to enjoy those. So.
And the things that, like, the thing is, like, when you come from the Star Citizen community, everybody's like, well, Star Citizen is going to have this and this and this and this, and like, this game doesn't have what Star Citizen is going to have. You can't really compare anything to Star Citizen because it's like so bad.
Star Citizen has everything, and that's it's kind of an unjustified claim. If your focus is exploration, maybe No Man's Sky is great for you.
Well, right. I mean, I think No Man's Sky has a completely different visual style, and that visual style is going to appeal, just like Star Citizen's visual style appeals as well. They're completely different. Sometimes that bright, colorful, cartoonish, dinosaur,
Warcraft,
whatever, it can appeal. So whatever. We'll see.
That's what I was saying though. Is Warcraft actually? Everybody else was trying to do regular, realistic-looking characters, and WoW just turned around and said, "Hell with it. We're going to make cartoon characters, and it's going to be cool."
Well, right, because they used good uses of color. They had great level design, and it ran on lower end systems because it didn't try to push the envelope. So it definitely had its place, and it was great. But Star Citizen also has its place. So
yeah, I'm just giving a comparison. Basically, at the time, I remember like City of Villains, City of Heroes, like Guild Wars originally came out. There's all these other games that were just constantly coming out, and they were all trying to be uber realistic, but the tech just wasn't there to do it. Uba doobie doo.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, back to the Caterpillar. The Caterpillar is interior complete. I'm not going to let that alone. The interior is ready to go. That's the reason why I said let's bring up the Caterpillar.
Oh yeah,
cool.
No, yeah, it's that.
And tractor beams. Let's not forget that.
I mean, the Caterpillar is a sweetheart to me because it was the community's least favorite, least owned ship.
We need a community building Caterpillar.
Well, like, it was funny because it was like basically it was the ship that nobody loved. And I was like, and then the more they talked about it, I was like, this ship's going to be amazing because it's so it is the actual workhorse. Whereas all these other ships are really pretty, they're not exactly very realistic. Look at the Starfare. Let's throw all the tanks on the outside where they're easily shot at. I mean, or just any of these ships.
I love the aesthetics. Well, the aesthetics of the Caterpillar remind me of the Alien horror movies.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think
love it.
The most important thing about the Caterpillar is that it eschews. Did I say that right? I can't pronounce things tonight. It doesn't care about the aesthetics so much as it does the functionality. So the way the sides open up to give you access to cargo, that's going to be amazing. The way it's modular, so you can just mix and match to whatever you need it to be. It's going to be an amazing platform, and I think people are finally realizing that, and so now it's blowing up in popularity.
And that's something that I want to see. I want to see somebody actually mod in an alien queen and Ripley's power walker, and have one of the side bays of the Caterpillar opened up.
I could totally do that. I could totally do that. You guys ever watch Captain Richard? By the way,
I've actually.
I don't know.
Some.
I know him, and I've killed him in space, and I think I might have been on his stream once.
Well, Captain Richard is a partnered Twitch streamer here, and I've been a mod. I've been a mod for him since. For a long time, and he actually has an alien queen that's his sub notification that comes out from the side of the screen, and awesome. He shoots at it with his gun. Well, I created that. That's one of my claims of fame here, right on Twitch.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
That is really cool. I mean, I've got some tech skills, but I don't have all the content creation abilities. And oh my god, like some.
So you provide the caterpillar, I'll provide the queen, and we could do that.
Oh my god,
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, that's how communities are built.
when we start getting Xenos in Star Citizen, that is gonna be the day.
Yeah.
You know, I might give up piloting for a while to go FPS for that, because that's gonna be the shit.
Oh man, oh man.
You can like hear it breathing in your helmet as your heart's pounding, and
yeah, that's gonna be cool.
You got gun shake, because you know by then they'll actually have the where you're breathing, you know, affects.
What about
the
Uber? I got a Uber cheese sci-fi horror movie reference for you. Anybody remember Critters?
Oh yeah, yes, Critters.
Yes, please give
Critters.
Yes, I want to shoot at Critters.
Google save me.
Come on.
I'll probably remember it as soon as I see
it.
It's like little spike balls running around.
Yeah, Traz, do you remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
The originals.
Yeah, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Remember when Raphael goes to the movie?
Oh,
no,
man, I'm nerd failing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Jesus, man!
I can't. No, everybody misses my.
He went and saw Critters 2 in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. And what it is basically these little sci-fi alien porcupine people-eating things run around, and they get everybody and they eat them all up, and they shoot quills at people and such. And you fall asleep if you get shot by the quills.
Yeah, they're like porcupines with tranquilizer darts.
Neurotoxin quills, fantastic.
Love it. That would be fun to shoot at. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to shoot tribbles too, but
I just want to plant a pair of tribbles on people's ships I don't like.
I guess it's it should be known that I want to shoot anything and everything. So just be forewarned. If you see the name ZMan anywhere, you should probably assume that I'm going to shoot at you.
Nice.
You know, I like that philosophy. I think we've got a lot in common.
Shoot all things. That is my my number one goal.
Fire Z missiles. Fire all Z missiles.
You know, how come everything got redder all of a sudden? It's like, it used to be red is dead. I don't ever see any blue anymore. Oh, they're all mad at me. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of playing the bad guy, they're working on the component system for EM, IR, and cross-section, so maybe we'll actually see some more functional stealth gameplay with spaceships. Yes, quite.
I'd like to actually have the missiles be able to actually target certain things, so...
I'm not a huge fan of missiles, guys. I gotta tell you right now.
Well, they don't... I don't know. They've
at all. At all.
Ever?
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Not ever. Well, I know, and it's ironic because I have a freelancer MIS, but the whole thing, like, there are so many missiles, like, and the warnings get stuck on your HUD all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It seems like to do something about missile play a little bit. I never use them. Like,
well, missiles suck right now. I mean, the only time I use missiles is I expect 95% of the missiles I launch not to hit. I launch them only to, trick out a player who may not be experienced enough to ignore them. To make them maneuver so that they're maneuvering, I'm trying to maneuver to a stronger position.
Well, whenever I always thought about the missiles in a different approach. The missiles, first off, a guy who doesn't know what he's doing is going to fire them from the furthest distance out, and you're going to flare off and be done with it. I always seen them more like a jousting kind of thing. You take the missiles and then you, like, right before you pass each other, they just impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. You got to get it at the right angle though, so they're not changing directions. It's like the missiles take a minute or like not a minute.
Yep.
When you go to fire them, it takes them a second to unload from your vehicle and fire up and acquire target and move out. But
well,
I don't know.
What I was speaking to is that, like, if you fire them out, obviously the novice is going to go in and say, "Hey, I'm going to fire these all the way out here, and it's just going to waste the missile." But if you're, like, firing them as close as you possibly can and they're passing, and you time it like 600, 650 meters out before you launch, right, then typically they'll fly straight smack into the ship. Yep. And it's fun. I'm sorry, you should try it.
Yeah, I do that. That's like about the only time I'll do missiles. If I get a head-on nose to nose contact, and I'm running in on them. I'll throw missiles right in their face, and
Yep.
at least bring their shields down, and then you can come around and get a gun kill. So yeah, there's definitely something to be said for them, but
you got to use them strategically. I mean, because right now they just don't. I don't know.
Just spam. They're spam. That's all they are. They don't cost you anything, so you might as well shoot that.
They don't cost us anything just because you can go back to Olisar and resummon your ship. But if you actually go to replace your missiles at Cryastro, they're damn expensive. So, but they're not useful enough to justify that expense yet.
Right.
I think that they've got them dumbed down a lot though, because people just will missile spam because of Arena Commander, and I cite history from this. The Gladiator, when it first came out, had the size 4 missiles. Like those things would just follow you to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, I used to bounce them off asteroids all the
time. I mean, that was just the most. That was the most entertaining part of having that ship, is just watching that missile just chase the guy all around the map.
Yeah.
I do love the way you comment about your flying, because I know that you fly dual stick, and I'm like, that makes me happy. Just generally the people that fly dual stick are the ones that have taken a lot of time and have gotten really serious about their their piloting. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I do. I've said this many times on my channel. I am not an FPS guy at all. Yeah. The fact that I can run to my ship and climb up the ladder is a great success for me. So when I have to go to Korea and clear my good name, I'm constantly on the edge of my seat wondering when am I going to get killed, because it's only time.
Right around that corner.
What it sucks about FPS right now in StarCitizen is it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. You get on a person.
20 frames a second.
Well, no. Even with good frames, it's still, I don't know. It's still somewhat of a toss up. You know, and because the armor system's not in game, so you don't really have the speed modifiers. So wearing heavy armor versus light doesn't make any difference. So basically, it's just luck of the draw. I mean, if you get the jump on somebody, you kill them, and if you don't get the jump on them, then it's just a matter of who got lucky.
So we'll just say ZMan has no luck. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
So new style on the works on the space stations. New what is it?
They mentioned
style guide.
They mentioned that they were doing work on space stations, but they weren't specific. And since they mentioned that without naming it as Grimhex, made me think that maybe they were talking about additional stations for the Crusader map. I mean, maybe they're talking about 2.6 stuff. Because we've got 2.5 and 2.6. We'll get some new content, but really in the background they're redoing all the code so that when 2.7 comes out, all these problems that we're having with the net code and the desync and low frames because of the server sending too much information and all these other things will hopefully be diminished, because we keep seeing those problems get more and more exacerbated as they add more and more stuff into the persistent universe test map. And the only way to fix that is to overhaul that underlying code. So by 2.7, when they're planning on adding a planetary landing locations and procedural generation and more of the Crusader system than just, or more of the Stanton system than just Crusader, we have to have that code in place. So between now and then, I imagine performance will continue to suffer or get worse as we get Grimhex and more bodies in. But I don't know.
So looking at the Grimhex and looking at Port Olisar, obviously they didn't have much to go on from Olisar. So going in, it was the new one. It doesn't have much to explore. There is a drastic amount of exploration potential from Grimhex versus Olisar.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. They haven't really shown us too much. And if you were reading the developer's screen on the right-hand side, it had all the locations listed, and it was EVA tunnel, EVA elevator, EVA area. It still seemed pretty small, but what we saw may not have been the whole story. So, of course, who knows?
Yeah. Fun. Life animations for the PU and the Squadron 42. What you got?
Oh, right. I think they're talking about more NPCs are going to have more animations, and they're basically working on all this stuff. So maybe we'll start seeing NPCs populating, places soon. I hope.
With real
life animations to me means like mocap. So maybe the NPCs, like you're saying, but maybe they're actually having mocap actors working on that.
Right. So. I think they were talking about things like the NPCs idle animations like when they're going to the bar, they're interacting with chairs or tables, or
picking their nose, scratching their head, which is what I was trying to do over here, Hinton.
making it look alive. But they're also working on animations for the railgun. That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're
I love railguns, man.
I wonder if they're going to make some of the FPS weapons be a threat to grounded ships.
Yes, they will. I look at that railgun and I'm thinking, anti-ship.
Yeah. You know what's missing from the commentary that we haven't heard about in a while, though, is the physicalized damage. And I feel
lot.
Yeah.
Physicalized damage equals a lot.
Yeah.
There you go.
But they're adding more weapons in, and we still don't have it. And I'm like, the physicalized damage in the armor system on ships would be amazing.
Does anybody? Go ahead.
No, I just want to see. Yeah, I just want to see that in game, because I think then you can have pistols can't even penetrate the armor on a hornet. You know what I mean? And but maybe a laser weapon would be able to slowly burn damage into the hull. And it's the kind of stuff that's going to be necessary for when they get to capital ship combat. Because you need to have fighters be a credible threat to portions of a capital ship without being able to overwhelm it. So like if you have a fighter that's got hard ammo against the capital's going to laugh, because even though that hard ammo will penetrate shields, it's not going to penetrate the thick armor. But if they've got lasers, they can use their lasers to take down the capital ship's shields and avoid their turret fire. So that way the heavy hitters with the big anti-cap torps can penetrate, because maybe those torps can't get past shields at all, but if the shields are down or facing is down, it can damage the armor underneath.
Or if all you got is lasers, you take out the shields, you take out the engines, and then you get a boarding crew together, and you go in and you FPS it.
Yeah, maybe you can use smaller munitions on single-seater fighters to take out turret hardpoints or subsystems placed around a capital, but it would never be able to actually destroy the capital. You'd have to, anyways. Yeah. So,
I'm just gonna ask.
But I digress.
Right.
Anybody excited about more clothing?
Yes.
Anybody? Oh,
Hey,
good.
who's
Okay,
not?
here we
Come
go.
on. I mean, I know it's not.
I'm not.
Yeah. Just give me some air.
One of my moderators, TechnoKitty, is constantly telling me to change my pants because she hates the way the space spats look, or the assless chaps that they give you or whatever.
Oh, that's nice. the space ass.
Yeah, the space chaps, I guess they are. I don't know what the hell.
You need to just go and unequip them and just run around in booty shorts the whole time.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
That booty work.
Oh my gosh. Well, and the funny thing is, I mean, as much as it would be cool to see more content, I kind of agree. It'll be nice to see a little more content so that you can have some pirate clothing. But beyond that, I know that people expect us to see content released as it's put online, just to so the game will slowly grow. But I mean, I don't know. It would be kind of nice if they put just enough in to test the system, and then everything else they just held back for when we have some kind of official launch or.
I think that's coming. It's coming. Yeah. They have to walk the line between pleasing the people who have been here since Kickstarter and drawing in new audience members. Right. So it's it's a process, and I think they're doing a great job. They get a lot of heat for it, but
Ben, can I have an issue? Shut the fuck up and get back in your hole. Ben.
I can't even imagine Ben like that. He's so nice. He's such a nice dude.
It'd be the one time he got pissed off one day that I'd meet him.
Ben Smash. I miss the Ben Hammer though. I do miss.
Oh dear God! Why am I? Never mind. I am not going to mention that. That is a horrible reference of Ben. I'm not going to say that. I got a bad joke in my head. You said Ben Smash, and fuck it. I thought of Street Fighter. You can take it from there. I'm gonna leave it there.
Zangief. He's so tall.
Not that one.
What, you're thinking E-Honda?
I wasn't gonna say that.
But you were.
Oh.
Well, Ben's a giant, man. He's like 6'20", and he's made of radiation, man. He's just amazing. Yeah.
But it's gamma. It's gamma radiation. He just luckily he got to keep his skin tone. He didn't turn green. So.
Last guy I seen did that actually. What was it? He turned into like a rock guy.
Yeah. The thing.
They're talking about getting a working cover system in for FPS pretty soon. So that's kind of cool.
Working cover. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like so. Basically, when your character gets closer to a wall or
actually ducks or dodges.
Cover. Duck.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they do that because I know they want to keep it more realistic and player controlled rather than just being auto stuff. But if still there's ways that they can do it so they can enable it so that when we activate it, at least it looks good and
just get it in game and do it, and then like they could worry about what with all this technology coming out, Oculus and everything, they could get body motion trackers at some point where you could do it your own way someday.
That's gonna be scary. You're gonna see a dude actually playing it live in game and like jumping over behind couches and crap. And it's gonna be happening in real life.
Yeah,
like he trips on a beer can, but he really tripped on his cat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Poor guy.
I'd be like, what the hell? What happened to you? Nothing. I just fell over my table.
Speaking of jump, apparently they're improving jump mechanics as well with that. So I'm guessing like you're gonna fly like Superman or something. Like both arms forward. That's my jump mechanic. Here you go. Watch me go.
Combat roll. Dude, I want a combat roll. We need a combat roll. You need to be able to jump and like roll.
What the hell ever? This is America. I need a California roll.
What?
Man, if you eat sushi, you better put some fish in that.
This is America. I need a California roll that's from Japan.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And doesn't even honor it by having fish in it.
There's actually a funny reference to that. It was like what was it? A Family Guy episode. He said, "Yeah, down with immigrants, down with immigration. Who wants Italian?" Like really? Like okay.
So, another cool thing is they've talked about the armor and loadouts being converted to the new item port system, which means that we'll actually have positional. So you can actually maybe you can go and buy multiple meta pins, and slap them onto your thing. You can have multiple pistols. You can change where your weapons are loaded out around your body. That's kind of cool, I guess. They're talking about Helmet 2.0, and I just can't think of anything but
dear God, if I have to,
Lord Helmet.
If I have to actually look up and down my damn character's body like I have to do in the damn hangar, I'm gonna go nuts. Like, where the fuck? What the hell? Why is there like a damn port on my groin? What the shit is this?
Yeah.
And of course, go ahead. Yes.
He said Spaceballs. I'm sorry, that was my reference.
Spaceballs.
I went to try and change out a. Speaking of the port system, I went to change out a shield generator today on a Super Hornet, and you can't do it. It's gone. So at least
it's been gone for a while. The shield.
It was in the holo table
for like a couple of patches.
Right. It was in the holo table, and then like I guess 2.4 got rid of it. I hadn't tried to change out shields at all. That was like the one thing I hadn't tried to change.
Right. So
if anyone wonders, you can't make a standard Hornet into a Super Hornet.
Yeah,
because you can't change the shields. So it's I'm sad.
The standard Hornet doesn't support the size 4 shields that the Super Hornet does.
Well, it should.
Oh, hey, you're telling me. I fly, like right now, I've been flying a Ghost. Has been my main ship, and it's still a little more. It's made of a little more glass than the Super Hornet with its heavy armor, but I don't really have any power problems, so that's okay. But the shields, it only has the double facing shield as opposed to the quad facing, and the shields it hurts. It hurts having that lower shield.
Yeah, don't let me catch you wing side because I'll definitely clip you. You know what I mean? Like you got.
Oh boy.
It still survives pretty well, but Oh man.
Is there any actual kind of stealth mechanic in yet? Have you actually had any kind of advantage from flying that ship, other than it's being black and it's awesome?
It's better against missiles, but missiles don't really concern me anyway. Usually, if people fire missiles at me, I just shift into high gear and run their missiles out of fuel and then return to combat. It buys them time.
Yeah.
It would be really funny if they left even though the missile ran out of fuel, it still had enough juice that it would keep going and randomly smack into something on occasion.
screw that. I don't want the servers tracking that after that point.
It'd be funny. Watch it hit like your ship.
Yeah, I can see that. Did you guys watch that video that they had fire all the missiles where they constantly?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
god, that was beautiful.
That was crazy. That was like the MVP winner for AVP last
it was.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Firing all those marksman missiles and then like decimating one ship, and then they reacquire target.
They kill themselves. That was
like,
pretty awesome.
Came back
How
around.
does that happen?
They're still seeking. They're still seeking as they go. So when the target is destroyed, they don't have another target. So they go.
So that's another thing we don't have in 900 years. We don't have transponders in the future. Missiles don't know where they came from.
Well, yeah, no, that's what they're called. Fire and forget. They've got
Yeah, they fired and they forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all the ships should be, globes, and they should all be, drone controlled, with complicated AI that handles their, combat algorithms.
Basically, there you have it.
But then that wouldn't be nearly as much fun. So
you wouldn't even ever see your target. Just fire the missile and forget it from like 300 kilometers away.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean. Let's see what we got here.
Maybe the secret thing for 2.5 will be the female model. I doubt it. Yeah. I don't think so for that.
Kapow! Yeah. Did you see what Scuba Steve saying in chat about the missiles? Hunt for it October. You idiot! You killed us. Remember they're in the sub and the torpedo comes back around.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I haven't seen that movie in like 1,000 years, man.
Man.
Good old Sean Connery.
Be careful, Ryan. Some things in here don't react well to bullets.
Damn it.
So, Trebek. Is that a Dagobah mustache? What did I tell you about those racial slurs?
Anyway, early swings at procedural generation and planetary exploration. Sorry to ruin your fun boys.
I'll take the rapist for 300.
Therapist?
Early swings at the procedural generation for planetary exploration, Trask.
Come on now.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry,
well,
I can't do that,
they're working on procedural generation. We know that's coming. It's sexy. I can't wait. I'm guessing maybe we'll see a planetary body in 2.6 or an asteroid body that's generated. We could, I don't know. Or,
Landable.
You just want to see bodies.
Bodies. Yes.
Drowning pool reference? Drowning pool reference.
I don't know. 2.6, 2.7. I mean, 2.7 for sure, I think. But who knows? I mean, I imagine the 2.7 stuff, because it'll be a full planet, they want to finish, filling out some of the basic level, flora and fauna that can be, flown over. So they've got a lot more layering and things like that. Whereas if it's some planetary body generation in space, like asteroids and things like that, or like, say, small planetoids, those could be like single texture layers, or very much more simple. So they wouldn't have to be quite so amazeballs.
What was I thinking of? The giant worm out of one of the Star Wars episodes?
Empire, sir.
Thank you, sir. The giant worm just chilling out in the asteroid.
Yes.
You got to have that one, please. Please
Yes.
have that one in there. That would be a really nice procedural gen. Hey, look at me. I found a great hiding spot. Yeah, sure you did. See you later. Well, there goes our competition.
This is no asteroid.
Minox chewing on the power cables.
What the hell are Minox doing in the middle of an asteroid?
In the mouth of a space worm.
Yeah, with like little would-be, oh God, never mind.
I love it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Dragonfly and the Reliant are both being worked on, but they're not quite ready for public deployment.
Yeah.
Cool. Let them take their time. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see the Reliant soon.
Forgive me for my impulsiveness. I want to see it now.
Somebody had mentioned the PTU earlier today, but I don't actually know if Evocati got it and are in. Do you guys know or can confirm or deny?
They ain't gonna confirm that one.
Nope.
They confirm that they're doing it. They just can't talk about it if
NDA. That's all we can confirm is NDA.
We're confirmed that we're not doing anything we can tell you about.
That's right.
There
NDA. NDA. Right. You need an NDA command to put that on your notes.
Right.
Oh man.
Let's see. Okay, so they're polishing animations for sitting on couches, leaning against walls, interacting with terminals,
sitting on couches,
standing idle. Let's see. Getting into bed, gripping tools.
Playing Pokemon Go.
Oh my god, that needs to be an animation.
It totally does. Like, how hilarious would it be?
Some idiot on a
around Portal. Sorry, see some dude looking at his Bobby glass looking for Pokemon.
You say that, but they do need good like in-game games. Like, did you ever play EverQuest 1 by chance?
No.
No. Well, towards the end. I shouldn't say the end, but when like I don't know, 7, 8 expansions in, they actually had like a Tetris gem game that you could pull up in the game and play, like when you were sitting around on downtime. So how I mean, you could laugh and say, how sad is it that you're in a game to play another game? But at the end of the day, if the game's fun, it's fun. So
it's like a mini game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
It's like the whole Mass Effect series is a series of mini games.
Sure, yeah, so. or even like some of the Flash games that we've had them release, like oh my gosh, it's been a while.
Apex.
No, the one where you earn the Apex Predator badge.
Yeah, that one.
Freaking Vanguard Force. Oh,
yeah, that's it.
That's amazing.
It's a fun little game, sadly enough, on its own right. I'm hoping that they'll make it into like a subscriber flare, like an old 80s style arcade cabinet.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I'd love it.
Load that puppy on the Phoenix and just have like a full arcade on your Phoenix and fly around and park it at space stations and be like, all right, 10 AUC per game.
Instead of Pac-Man, it would be Disco Man or something. Have like a little bearded Pac-Man. I could see it.
Yeah.
All the beards.
Yeah, there you go.
So have you guys played around with the multi-factor authentication that just went out?
Yes. I have not. I wanted to. Hadn't got a chance
I
to.
Fired it up today for the first time right as I went live, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? What is all this stuff? And then Scuba Steve is yelling at me in Discord, yeah, that's the multifactorial I was like, sure, man, cool. So that was my extent.
Nice.
Like, hey, let me see your password.
Did you go like download a third-party MFA program like Google Authenticator, I guess, or
Scuba Steve. I'm laughing at Scuba Steve in chat. He's like, "Yep." I don't know what I did. All I did was I'm already like my gaming rig's already logged into Google's Thingus. I'm not a network guy, so I don't know. I did whatever. I logged in and it played and it worked, so it works.
Yay!
I can confirm.
Can confirm. Yeah, I haven't set mine up, but I'm gonna probably do that over the weekend or this next week or whatever. I want to make sure that because you're supposed to be able to set it to where you can trust a device so that you don't have to activate it all the time on your home computer and things like that. And so I want to set it up so that I don't have to use the multi-factor authentication at home, but I can use it on any other device outside. So it'll give me the security without giving me yet another headache when I'm logging in across like 10 accounts.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! So some guy has like just wrapped up a new ship. There you go. Because I don't want to say that name and get that name wrong.
I wonder if that was the Terrapin, since they're saying that it's flight ready. Well, no, I'm sorry, not flight ready. They said that it was sail ready, and if it's sail ready, then I guess that'd just be concept. I don't know.
So just wrapped up a new ship. So wrapped up a new ship would probably indicate a concept as opposed to a finished an old ship, which would be viable.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
Gotta love that looking at the words.
I know, like how did they phrase it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the final art phase for Shubin Interior. We haven't seen a lot on Shubin in a long time, nor have they really given us any interior peeks. That'll be pretty cool when we do see it. Huh. I wonder if that's
I've seen something, didn't I? It was like on Facebook floating around, like the actual. I seen like the Shubin like interior parts of it, like either leaked assets or something.
Huh. I don't remember that. But anyway,
it's on your page. How do you? Never mind. 5,000 on your page. How do you? Never mind. 5,000 people later.
yeah, and growing, but
They all.
I am pretty excited about like shields, coolers, power plants, quantum drives. I guess they're getting their final art, so that means maybe they'll turn on shields again, and we'll get to play with shields again. You know.
Yay!
So they're finishing up the last few avionics modules. So basically, they've got a lot of these already pre-branded, and they have a whole bunch of them, like 30 to choose from each section, maybe.
I think the big deal with those things being finished up is more meaning that we're going to see them as purchasable on terminals in Port Olisar soon. With one of the new patches. So I think this is the precursor to us being able to manipulate them in game in a more consistent manner than how we are right now. Maybe.
Possibly. It'd be good to have some more assets and some more reason to have the Alpha UEC in the first place.
Yeah.
Here, go try this out.
Right. And that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, even if you own tons of ships and whatever. From being a backer, there'll probably be lots of options for the internal components that you can spend in-game money on. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, down the road, that may be the way that they keep the game, growing. So, as far as keeping money coming in once they're no longer selling ships and so on and so forth post-launch, I mean, people are going to fund by buying, UEC, up to their limit per day or per month or whatever. So that works like a non-mandatory subscription. It's you can pay for that extra money or not, up to you. But yeah,
sounds like
go ahead.
And, well, we got Javelin Hangar work in progress. We have a lot of things bouncing around. There is just a huge amount of information out here, and we're trying to cover a lot of it. But
that's a good question.
Like, do you guys have a Javelin?
I do.
Yeah, he does.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys. I don't know this Vadron fellow. I mean,
I know Scuba Steve is. He's got a Javelin. We were talking about that today. He said. Yeah. Right now we're looking at AUEC as what we're gonna buy, for clothing and stuff.
Right.
In the universe, it's gonna be, man, how am I gonna afford to pay the repair bills on this Javelin?
Oh God.
It's gonna be.
If you read up on all the jump points, there was one jump point where they talked about the difference between the different labels. So like a military grade equipment is basically going to have enhanced overall performance characteristics, but it's going to be high maintenance. So it's going to basically, its durability or whatever will deplete more rapidly. So it's basically more of like a racing component or military.
So you're going to be married to it then.
You're going to be
it's high maintenance.
Yes. Oh yeah. You're gonna be required to put out a lot of outlay to keep it functioning in tip top shape.
You guys are gonna pay for that, Carrick.
Right. And that's true. So and that's the thing is, like, the Drake ships, their strength may just be that they're cheap to maintain.
Yeah.
They don't have to be the best if you can replace it easier. So if you've got tons of money floating around, you might roll around in that Super Hornet or F7A, or F7A. FCA. Shut up.
F7C.
God, I can't talk to
F8 Lightning. Get it right. If you can drive around a Bugatti, you expect to pay a Bugatti price.
F7A.
That's right.
F7 Alpha. Anyway, so.
Did you just say F7 Alpha?
F7.
So wouldn't that be Foxtrot 7 Alpha, or just F7A?
Ow.
F7A. The A is the
Here we go. I feel better now. He was getting on to me earlier because I was forgetting Mike, Michigan, and all that stuff.
Oh, you weren't forgetting. You were butchering.
I was just spitting it out.
You're like, Michigan, Nancy, Ulysses.
Nancy. I thought I said Nevada. Anyway.
I love you, man. All right.
Okay, so work on the driller.
Hey, baby. Tell me about your driller.
It's Vandal, 100% beef.
Driller.
Wait, hang on. I got it. 100% bacon. Sorry, Pitchfork. Forgive me.
Oh, bacon, 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 bacon,
Dogs
coffee, coffee.
Dogs don't know it's not bacon.
And I actually got that reference. That was great.
I'm thinking of bacon strips.
Yeah, right. That's a badger reference.
Yes, badger. 10-hour edition.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's a Zulu group special. So.
Keep
See,
our
hey,
cat
he
playing
gets
his
it.
greatest hits.
He hears it. He's laughing in chat.
The F7 BBC. Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God.
Dear God.
So BBC is community manager Steve is known all Twitch wide as community manager Steve.
Wow.
And his command in most channels, if you go to most channels and type !BBC, it'll say community manager Steve with the PogChamp, and that's that stands for building better communities. You guys are so off the wall with what you're thinking right now.
No, building better communities. I love it. Yeah, I'm all
right. I was thinking,
or building bacon, buying bacon and coffee. You know, we have a
British broadcasting channel.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it right away? It's got to go to BBC as the perverse part, right?
What are you talking about? I'm a pervert around here. I don't,
Big bimbo cleavage.
Oh God! All
there
right,
you go.
So God, there's so much stuff to just push through.
Hopefully
Hopefully the community is still having fun as we just go data point by data point.
That's right. Speed round. Let's go.
Speed round. Gas cloud tech and
cool
graphics being overhauled. Yeah. I actually posted a pretty cool picture or a little GIF.
Speed round.
Oh yeah, whatever. Bearing size 5 weapon. Dun dun dun.
Awesome.
Did you guys see the picture for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks really good.
Go see the picture. It's in order.
And you can buy them out for it already, right?
I think.
Yeah, it's called a Vanguard.
It should.
No, but I think there's a Hornet turret mount for that.
For size 4s.
Size 4s.
Now the flash fire mount on the Cutlass should fit a size 5. But when they made it, because no size 5s existed, they just set it to 4. So it should fit a size 4 that's gimbaled, although it's not. And then and it should fit a size 5 fixed. There we go. Anyway, they're talking about work on a Bearing Pro line grenade. So that's kind of cool because we have no grenades in game yet. Grenade.
Boom. Happy? Boom.
Kapow!
Let's see. Vandal behavior.
Here, hold this.
What makes them special and unique compared to fighting against a human opponent? Yeah, that actually
made it bacon.
That made me pretty happy. I mean, it's kind of like the Xi'an, and even like why I want them to take their time on the Banu is, we want these alien AI to fly like, an alien pilot. Although, we say
I just want them to explode. Like, coolly. I don't really care how they fly.
Yeah. Well, and oddly enough, then again, you could also say that, in space, all ships are going to end up flying in the same kind of style, I guess. I mean, maybe it depends if some of the alien races have more tolerance to G-forces.
More than likely.
Due to their physiology.
But think about that Xeon Scout for a minute.
Yeah.
If it's designed to be an expert strafer, then wouldn't it make sense that the strafe tolerances on a real Xeon ship would be a lot more powerful and we'd be prone to blackout in it, maybe?
Well, only depending on how you fly it, but yeah.
Like an idiot. Come on now.
I do wish that they would make some alien ships where the interiors of the ships were absolutely just not human at all. Like where you're climbing through liquid-filled tunnels and things like that, and they drain out the liquid, so now you're attaching human ladders.
Are we going back? Are we?
What?
Seriously, we're going back to the community piss pull from the previous episode. Are we doing that again? Is that what you're talking about? You have like a piss cup right at the bottom of your scythe.
Yeah. Hey man, at least you don't have to get out.
It's like on your knees or something.
Hey, just remember, some ships don't come with bathrooms.
That's right. The Banu bathroom list. They store it. They just hold it they're like camels.
For sale.
They got shells. Sale. What do you think they do with those shells since they evolve?
Yeah, they just excrete another layer of shell.
Damn, there you go.
Oh man.
Jettison complete.
Damn.
So I guess they're doing more work on head bobbing, eye stabilization, and head stabilization. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I know that we want to unify first and third, but since the human eye and brain kind of auto does that in the real world, it makes sense that our characters shouldn't head bob, even if the animation does. So, we'll see how that goes.
I want Night at the Roxbury.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
That needs to be an animation. Why is that
That should
not?
be.
Why
it should be a dance animation,
yeah,
right?
It does need to be a dance animation.
All right. Next thing for the for the forums.
Right. I'm putting in a customer service request right now.
Yes, concierge me.
That's right. I'm entitled. You give me my special snowflake demands.
I have my black card. I will whip it out.
Hey,
I'm going to try to read this wall of text. You ready?
No,
okay.
Don't do it.
Sure. Overarching security and criminality systems that will help us detect wrongdoers and report them to the NPC authorities who will take action. The idea is to, while still being lenient towards the player who might err occasionally, oops, wrong missile, have the world react to them in a ruthless way to people who abuse other players or do things they're not supposed to do, you bad boy. The main goal is to make this part of the world so that NPCs take matters into their own hands based on the local law in the region of space rather than the U.S. than us developers have to police abusers. You wrote this! Don't yawn, damn it.
No, I didn't write that. That was actually that was the
good point. Fair enough.
Was the commentary from the monthly
Disco
report.
probably landed. Disco wrote it.
What's interesting about the way that's phrased is, on the one hand, it makes it sound like they're not making they're not differentiating between somebody who's being a troll / griefer versus somebody who's playing a criminal in the universe. But then by the end of the same paragraph, it sounds like we're making it fit within like in-game law. So like I don't know, like, so I mean, right, so I hope that they're, and I'm sure they will, but obviously first iterations have a hard time covering those nuances, especially when 85% of the community can't distinguish accurately between a griefer versus a PvP player versus a pirate. So
I mean, not to dive off into that too much, but most of the time we wind up like oh, he killed me, he's a bad, horrible person, when in reality your ship was in the damn way and he wanted to park there.
Well,
it's nothing to do with you. Sorry, Mac. Yeah. You're just not that important to me.
Well,
sorry.
I do love that, like, the culture of the game with 2.4 has definitely changed largely to where usually if you kill a player, it's because you have a reason,
Nah. What?
Usually.
Wait, I need a reason to kill people?
To extinguish your soul.
That's a reason.
Yeah, see? I'm sorry. I'm the cynical one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if you just want a PvP, if you just want to fight other players and you've already got enough criminality that it doesn't matter, you're still the places that you choose to engage other places is still cordoned to locations where it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go out of your way to go fight somebody in a place that's not as
secure.
Like, for instance, when I'm playing the bad guy, I might go off into the ICC territory and pick on people there. Now, they might get mad and say, "Oh, well, I'm just doing my thing, and you're wrecking my experience, or you're messing with my testing."
Shit, I'm a pirate.
But here's the thing: the reason that I would engage somebody in piracy there is, one, from a roleplay standpoint of I'm joining the other pirates that are there because they're not that strong. Two, because in the asteroid fields they can't jump out. So once battle's engaged, it's engaged. And, for them to try to quantum away, they've got to maneuver out, and that means the fight lasts longer. So I'm still there with what I would consider an in-game
fight.
Yeah. I'm playing from an in-context reason, you jump them in an asteroid belt where they don't have a clear line of sight to jump out.
And that's a beautiful thing. It's exactly what a player should do, or maybe like something later on, like a gas cloud or a nebula or something. They just can't see, so they don't know if it's safe to jump or not.
And at that point, that's when you're going to see the ships like your Ghost are going to be ideal to have
Yes.
when you're getting attacked in an asteroid field and you just go stealth and fly out of the asteroid field.
Right, right.
Something that I've always thought about.
Or like you want to do escorts, so you'll be rolling on a ghost, and you won't necessarily show up on a pirate's radar, and you're just because you're ghosting in the shadow of the ship that you're escorting. They jump in, and then now you've got the advantage on them.
So something that I've always thought about was if you're ballsy enough to get near the corona of a star, your IR is definitely going to be a lot lower than the star's radius. So if you're really, really, really close to the star and you have like a heat shield, like some sort of heat shielding device that's going to like block that off, you're going to actually have stealth.
Right. The ambient noise is going to be louder than the emissions are going to be more.
The IR emissions are higher. The electromagnetic field is going to be higher. The stealthiest place in the whole damn system is the star because they can't see you when they look into it.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
World War II, Yakuza, or what is it, the Japanese style. They fly out of the sun.
Yep.
So it's interesting that they mentioned that the 2.5 release with the lawless base has been split into tiers, which means so that they can basically focus on each tier at a time. They're trying to make it so that they can hit their release date. But so that means that the first iteration of 2.5 will probably be the very core functionality of that part of Grimhex.
You spawn here.
Right. And then, and then over 2.6, 2.7, Grimhex will expand, and we'll see more added to it. I mean, they even said just as much, just like when Port Olisar first released, you didn't have Kasaba and all of the shops, whereas now, so we'll probably see a bit of that. So it makes me sad that it won't be full featured, but whatever. More content is more content.
Take your time, please.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. No, I'm looking at the holograms. Holograms like Constellation, Retaliator, Aurora, and they're going to actually have a better frame rate when you're looking at them. Not only are the other ships, not only that, but the other ships previously displayed empty screens. Vanguard, Saber, Avenger will now display correctly in the hologram field.
The big
Yay!
Thing, yeah.
See,
that'll be cool. I mean, just because like the Hornet is like we were talking about earlier. It's one of the earliest ships, so it's got some of the most functionality of all the ships with the least like weird little quirks or features missing.
And no fuel light.
Yeah, no fuel light. So hopefully now this means you will see some of those other ships starting to catch up. But I think the most important thing about that is how it's when they were talking about frame rates, they're talking about the holograms are being retooled so that overall they don't slow down your frame rates while they update. So that's yay, more performance.
Yay, FPS.
Yes.
And we are ready for the guest interview. You ready?
Wait, what have we been doing this whole time?
We've actually been we've been berating you with a whole bunch of questions and answers. No,
no, I'll jump in.
Trash, you go first.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. ZMan.
Come on now.
What is it like being a mod for all these lovely streams?
Insanely busy.
Is it? Yeah. So I mean, how do you juggle it with life?
It's difficult, but most of the streamers understand that I'm a real life guy, got lots of responsibilities, and their stream is important to me. But I also have a lot of other things going on, so they're awesome guys. The worst part about being a mod for all the streams is all the nudes I have to send out because everybody wants nudes of me for some reason.
You ain't popular unless you can make money off a sex tape.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So that's what we need, a Station42 sex tape.
Yeah, all the nudes.
Traz, that's all you, man.
All right. So, are you married, or you have like family around?
Yeah, I'm married. I have two daughters. Nice. They're both in elementary school, and
awesome.
We go from a sex tape to "Are you married?"
No, well, I was just.
Well, we had to get to that point, right? Lots of sex tapes, and then marriage, and settle down. Then you just send nudes, and
I just meant like. How has have any other games prior to this ever impacted your just life in such a way? Like, 'cause I mean, StarCitizen is a pretty engaging thing, especially when you're modding for multiple streamers and you've got your own stream and you've got.
I was involved with a lot of MMOs in the past.
Okay.
I've been playing all space games, like ever since like the first real PC that I had that could play space games was I bought in 1994. I went in the Navy,
Ooh,
went to
94.
yeah, but actually,
32
before
megahertz
that,
swinging.
So was that
yeah,
like that was a 486?
yes, it was a 486. But before that, actually, before that, so I went from Atari 2600,
Yeah.
Nintendo NES. Then I got a Commodore 64 right around the same time as my NES. So that actually saw more. Like I did a lot of programming and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
And but I didn't actually start getting into like hardcore gaming on PCs because I didn't have one up until '94 when I could actually go to We Finance E1 and Up at 28% interest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got wrangled in, but I got my first 486, and I started playing Wing Commander, and it's all been written from there, man. Like,
Yeah. It's funny too because like I started. I think my first computer was a 386. And we were doing like Commander Keen and all the like side scrollers that you could get, like Wolfenstein 3D and all that good stuff. Doing modding on that, like editing levels, doing level editors and texture map editors and things like that. And that was a lot of fun. Didn't do any coding though. And then I think Descent 1. It was back before you had 3D accelerator cards. And I remember we were playing Descent 2. And the Voodoo 1 came out.
Voodoo Effects, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, baby.
You actually had to have a 2D video card and the 3D video card.
It was crazy,
And back in the day, the industry was like, this will never take off. You're never going to have an average consumer who's going to pay for a 3D rendering. That is just not necessary, blah, blah, blah.
Bullshit.
And, oh, my God, dude. I remember...
Were they wrong?
Oh, were they wrong? When they put the patch for Descent 2 to take it to 3D accelerated, the graphics got so much more smooth, and the FPS, I was like, it was mind blown.
Yep. Yeah, Scuba Steve saying 8088 or 8088 XT.
Hey, don't joke about that. I got an 8088 at a garage sale with a monochrome screen and a dot matrix printer.
Wow.
I used to keep that. Oh man, I was so pissed when I lost it. I
actually had a computer that had a turbo button. It went from 16 megahertz to 32 megahertz, and I thought I was smoking. I'm like, really?
I remember
Windows
like
3.1.
I remember like getting that computer home in 1994 and like 350 megabyte hard drive. How am I ever going to fill that up? That's insane.
playing Darklands, and it took 10 floppy disks, and you're like, this is so big.
Right, it's so crazy.
Oh, sit there and you have to go and drop all the floppy disk onto the damn disk, and you're sitting there. You can play your entire game from one hard drive. It's like kind of drives you nuts. I remember having a 21 gig hard drive and wondering how the heck I was going to fill that up, man. Yeah. Now it's like 7 terabytes is nothing practically nowadays.
Oh my God, I know.
Times have changed considerably.
Oh yeah.
And so, as a father, like trying to explain things like that to your kids, like you guys walking around with phones all the time, like you have no idea what.
I know you got a phone that's what do they say? Like the old iPhone was a more powerful processor than what they used to you run Apollo 12 or 11 or whatever.
Yeah, they actually Apollo 11 landed on the moon with Texas Instrument
with a Nokia.
that's no shit. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
but
good times,
So what's your relationship with CIG like? Any fun stories, cool perks? Got any down low? Any things that you could tell us but you don't have to? I'm still curious if you're holding back.
I'm always holding back, sir.
There you go.
Always holding back. I know a couple of CIG employees who mainly the guys that I know were CIG or Twitch guys before they went over to CIG.
Yeah. Okay.
And we still maintain communication and stuff. So that's about as much as I can tell you.
No, and that's fair. Like those guys do great work. I would never want to pressure any of them for extra info. And because the truth of it is every time I've ever been to one of the studios, like they pretty much give it to us as quickly as they possibly can. And the stuff that they hold back, I don't begrudge them that. I don't.
Yeah.
You get those vocal douchebags in the community that try to like
more.
Whatever. But
yeah. They're like, why isn't this built yet? How dare you? Tell me more. What's going on?
I paid $45.
Right.
You owe me. I raised 100 million by myself.
Traz, you have no idea how hard it is for me not to rage on people on your website, on Facebook. I'm just like, dude, it's an alpha. And like people are like, stop telling me it's an alpha. I know it's an alpha. Then stop asking stupid questions and I'll stop telling you it's an alpha. Jesus.
Yeah.
And some people don't have, they never seen this before.
Yeah. This is new. This is kind of uncharted territory. So people just don't know their way, and I'm glad. Sometimes I'll feel the same way, but I do appreciate it when people restrain themselves from like raging about it. Just because, usually you're gonna get people get people through it better by being supportive. But we have a pretty good community. I'm lucky. It's taken a long time, and I've tried to. You can't really shape people per se, and I have no illusions that, people are going to be themselves. But the way I moderated the community has definitely lent itself to giving people more room to be themselves. But at the same time, they have to be more personally responsible. And I like that idea of central locus of control, where people have to be responsible for their own actions. Because at the end of the day, the nice thing about this being an unofficial group is that unlike CIG, I don't have to treat them like a customer. If they piss on my rug, this is my house. I'm gonna put you out of the house. And the only thing you have that can stop me from doing it is your words and your ability to rationalize and communicate. So if you can't do those two things and be a human being, you get to go outside.
Yeah. It's okay, Traz. It's okay, Traz.
Just tell them they could file a concierge report that Traz kicked them out of the Facebook page. Let's see how far that gets.
I'm gonna say that one of these days. I'm gonna say
you what? Put a CIG ticket in.
The bank.
Building and material for Facebook. So.
Oh God!
I got kicked off the Starfish.
Somebody get banned so I can say that.
Oh, don't say that! Don't say that! You're gonna have like 30 people try to actually fuck with you now. I can see it. Just
I'm about to pick my phone up, and start fucking with it.
It's like some Derek Smart post coming up here.
No, never.
That's the quickest way, I promise you. You want to get banned? There you go. Say that one right there. Yeah. There you go. One stop. Okay, everybody, go and do this so that Traz can ban you.
Don't even joke. Come on. On.
All right. Fine. Okay. Hey, you take the next question then, Hotshot.
So what got you into streaming? Like, was it StarCitizen or was it?
Yeah, it was the hot women.
It was the hot women. So I actually I started streaming right around the time I started watching Captain Richard, and Captain Richard was probably October of 2014, and I tried doing StarCitizen, but I only had one PC at the time, I had laptops and stuff, but to stream StarCitizen properly, you really have to have two PCs, and this is like the talk that you'll hear amongst streamers a lot is having a dedicated PC just for capture and encoding and setting up upload and everything. And I tried it and with one PC for a little while, and it just I got the worst I probably got like 4 frames a second at the most. It was terrible. So I switched over to other games for a little while, and I did some creative streams for a little while, and it just I wanted to get back to StarCitizen.
Right. What do you run on your second box? So if you're playing the game and you're capturing on this system, then what do you run on the second system?
So my primary game rig, all the specs are available on my Twitch page if you wanted to check those out. But right. I have a Skylake build that I just built in February. That's an i7 6700 and Strix 980 Ti and Hero Alpha Asus ROG motherboard. Yep. So a pretty solid build for a gaming rig, and that all that does is plays games on my main monitor, and then it outputs HDMI to the stream box, which is just an i7 2600. with a HD capture card. So it's pretty basic.
Wait, you're actually running them in tandem.
I'm right. Yep.
You're playing on the one, and it's pushing it out to a second box that does the capture. So you're offloading all of the capture processes onto that second box.
Right. My one box does nothing but capture and upload, and it runs my bot 24/7. So if you go to my channel 24/7 and do any commands or lurk in chat, which I have a lot of lurkers, but I love lurkers because they're earning war bonds, and then if I throw a host to another streamer, they get numbers up, and it's good for everybody. So I tell everybody, lurk the channel all you want. Like I love lurkers.
Wow.
And I do it.
And that's the thing is like Twitch is kind of new to me. Like I mean I'd caught wind of it a couple of years ago, and I used it just enough to upload me running around my hangar. When I was trying to get a buddy to get excited about StarCitizen, which had never worked.
Right.
So I spent an hour setting up a Twitch account and a split stream or whatever Xstream. XSplit. Yeah. Setting that up, figuring it out, and I ran it just for that, and then I never touched it again for like a couple of years, other than watching the random.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing the things that you can do on Twitch these days, and every day things are getting better and better. Mm-hmm. Their servers are kind of sometimes like I end up dropping frames or whatever, but yeah, it's a great thing, man. And same thing with me. Like I before I tried streaming on Twitch, I just like tried making YouTube videos, and like I could show you some of my YouTube videos that I uploaded, like my first walkthrough of a constellation when it was hangar ready, and like the old school hangar tour, like the deluxe hangar tour running around, and it's like no talking, no, like it was just like you see me running around and stuff and playing music or whatever. But so yeah, I've come a long way. But that's what I got dedicated because Captain Richard. I met the guy in real life. We've known each other for years. That's
always good.
He inspired me because he said, "Look, there's a bazillion streamers out there, and there's only 24 hours in a day, and like people can only watch so many streams at a time. Although Scuba Steve runs like multi-Twitch and tries to watch like 25 of them at once, but." But
lurk the world.
Yes, that's right.
Lurk the planet, Scuba Steve. Lurk the planet.
Yeah. So, so he said, dedicate yourself, pick a time slot, and stick to it. You know, pick it and stick it, and that's what I've been doing. So I stream Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, daylight time right now till 2:00. So an hour and a half a day I get in.
Nice.
So
that's some good time. Like I mean, if you're playing StarCitizen, that's plenty enough to stay sharp in the game for sure. So. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice time for a lot of people like get their lunch breaks right around then too. So if nothing else, they could check me out on Twitch Mobile, hang out for a little bit. Right. So enter for a $10 RSI gift card daily. So. Oh, that's badass. Yeah, and that's nice too. Like, I mean, I don't want to bore our listeners, but like, you know, we our channel, we've been growing. You know, we're trying to. It's more community focused and things like that. So we haven't really thought about trying to monetize anything. But I think the day is going to come where we're going to have to start reaching back and hoping for support so that we can like, you know, upgrade some equipment and start doing some things that are, you know, that are funded, you know, and that way we can do giveaways and so on and so forth. But, you know, it really is inspiring and really interesting listening to the guys who've done it before us. You know, there's a lot to learn, and it's amazing. So yeah, thanks for sharing. You know, you don't have to, and it's awesome. Yeah, it's a good time. And we joke all the time, like me and Scuba Steve and stuff. We constantly saying like building communities, but that's what we're doing. We're like we help each other out all the time. I get so much support from everybody. Like they come in the channel, they give me donations, and then I could give out more freebies for you guys. And that's mind blowing, you know. Yeah, I mean, that really is. I mean, it's I don't know, man. You know, it's like I have my own org that I've built with, that I've platformed with my asset collection, right? But I mean, and of course we have our members that have come on and stepped on board with that with me. But that's still put to the side compared to like what I did with the Facebook group. You know, my whole plan there was I wanted an org neutral social hub for people to meet and get to know each other for like the long-term community. You know, so you get to know who you want to play with and who you don't want to play with. You know, you get to feel for who people are. Because when you first meet somebody, they can send you their resume, they can show you their Facebook, they can do all these things, but those are all snapshots of their best foot forward. You don't get to really see them. So the whole point of being in this kind of this, you know, muddy pool of water that we're all thrown into together is that we get a little more depth on knowing who people really are, so you can, you know, cherry pick your allies and enemies, I guess.
Right.
You know,
if they're saying boo this, boo that, and everything else, then you kind of get an insight to who they are.
Well, it's just a part of an overall picture. I mean, even being on a Facebook community doesn't teach you everything. I mean, having a sit down like this face to face is a big deal. You know, I get to take your measure, you get to take mine, and that's just the start of it. Just like when you got to meet Captain Richard and you met him in person, it leaves a much larger impression. You know,
right?
And if gaming over the decades has taught me anything, it's that, you know, the friends that I lost in early gaming because society wasn't as approving of the idea of having friends you've met online count in your real life, that's a fallacy. You know, I mean, some of the best friends I have that I've known the longest have been people that I met back in EverQuest 1. You know, I mean,
right.
If I'd stayed in touch with the guild that I was a part of then, I mean, I left that game because the game deteriorated because of Sony's policies,
right?
Not because of the players I played with. Though I gave up, you know, hundreds of amazing people that should have stayed a part of my life. And, you know, if I'd had those people around me now, we would roll into Star Citizen with, you know, a force of nature, respectively, you know. And I'm sure
right.
that's a story that many older school gamers can speak to.
Yeah. And I have a similar story. Like I got involved with Star Citizen, and I was playing Battlestar Galactica online, and I had a
BSG?
A very large Cylon. Well, what are they called back then? Not groups, not org. I guess we call it an org. It wasn't. They had different names, different. But whatever. And squadron, whatever you want to call it, and
wing.
I brought most of them over. They never heard of Star Citizen, and I'm like, listen, guys, you gotta check this game out. It's badass. They're like, oh, well, we're so used to playing a browser game, you know, like how are we gonna have computers? I was like, worry about that shit when the game comes out. Just go get the game, you know, like sign up for a package, get an early number. Like, who cares? Like, so I brought a lot of them over, and if you look at like my RSI citizen portfolio, whatever, It says like my main org on there is the Forge, and those are all guys from Battlestar Galactica online.
You know, what's interesting too is like, I remember watching the first season or the first couple of BSG, the pre episodes, the 2 episodes right prior to the show. You know what I'm talking about, the webisodes, the mini series at the beginning.
Okay. Like the pilots were the miniseries.
When it first came out, I watched the pilots because I had watched the old original Battlestar way back when I was a kid. Never got to see the whole thing, but so I watched those pre-shows, and then I never finished it, and that was years ago, right? Because it's been out for a decade and a half now.
Yeah.
Well, we're watching Battlestar Galactica right now, so we're like 3/4 of the way through the first season.
What a great show, man.
Yeah, it's a blast.
It is a great show.
It makes me, and the thing is Battlestar Galactica, what was played on the Descent Free Space 2 platform? Like, isn't the BSG universe...
no,
there's a mod for...
You mean Battlestar Galactica Online?
No,
it's on the Unity engine.
Okay, so that's something else then. There was a Free Space. Have you ever played Free Space? Descent Free Space?
Yeah.
Okay, so Free Space.
Oh wait, you're talking about this. You're talking about like the Xbox Battlestar Galactica.
No,
they had it on console.
No, I don't think so. Oh. I don't know. I just Free Space 2 was a big game to me because Descent 1, 2, and 3 were huge for me. The underground fighter, and then when Descent branded and made their own kind of like Wing Commander game called Free Space, like I played that. I missed out on the Wing Commanders because at the time I didn't have a computer that could play it, and you know I was a kid, so you know whatever. And
don't make me old.
You only got a couple of years on me, so yeah, no. So yeah, you know, I was like 16 or 17 then, I don't remember, but I missed out on Wing Commander 123, and I'd heard it was great. It was totally up my alley. Never got to play it, but you know, but I made up for that by playing
Free
Space 2, and so apparently Free Space 2 has a Battlestar Galactica mod.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
huh. Oh, I did see. You're right. I did see that. I actually played that mod. Yeah, but that's a different game than Battlestar Galactica Online.
Okay.
Battlestar Galactica Online is an MMO that's run by Big Point. It's a browser game and the Unity engine.
Okay.
So my claim to fame with that game was I went in as a dogfighter, and I was the first guy to incorporate joystick and mouse usage for Battlestar Galactica Online. So using a browser game, and once I started, everyone's saying, "Oh, he's exploiting," like just using a different. Yeah, I was exploiting because I was using a joystick. Right? I'm like,
in a fighter game. Come on,
yeah.
really?
Like, yeah. So, okay. So if I use a keyboard, it's not exploiting. But since I'm using joy to key and I mapped in my my joystick controls, that's exploiting. So it's whatever. But eventually, people realized that the way that I was using it was the best way at the time, and everybody started like coming in and joining my organization.
Well, you know, and that's funny too, because you run into that. I see that in StarCitizen, because you have everybody that used to sing the praises of mouse keyboard, and now you see more HOTAS players, and it's like I fly decoupled, and I swear by it. You know, I don't fly coupled. That's not how you fly a spaceship. It's, you know, call me an elitist about it, but like, or like using the two controls. Like I'm all about, like, I have pedals, you know, warthog stick, and I use a CH throttle on the left side, so I still have the analog thumbstick. So because I appreciate the analog on strafe. The bad side about like I wish I had a full joystick on the left hand, but I really like my throttle up and down motion because I use that for strafe back.
Right.
So it's important to me, and so I don't know.
Well, you and Scuba Steve, you guys would get along great because he's a HOTAS user, I'm a dual stick user. We constantly are talking about the difference between Scuba.
And then that's the thing, is the bottom line is neither is perfect, because neither device in the left hand is specifically designed for a space sim. You know, so I mean, they need to build a device that takes the best aspects of both of those to give you more granular control on your strafes. Because even though my thumbstick is analog and it's pretty nice on the CH Pro throttle, it's still such a short throw that you don't have that super granular control for strafing for when you're doing landing maneuvers. But for combat, it's just fine, because in combat you're doing jerky, all your energy this way, all your energy that way. You don't need granular control for combat.
Well, here's the thing. You were talking earlier about how you have your firing stuff on
the left, yeah.
Right. Instead, so if you're jerking with the left, and you're how accurate are you being with the right?
It depends, but I'm not aiming with my strafe. I'm aiming with my stick.
Right. Where the difference is, I can aim with my strafe.
Oh, well, no, you're in the same thing. You can have your strafes on the left. Well, I'm just saying, well, you're still aiming with your right stick, correct?
I'm aiming with my right stick, but
so why would you have your trigger squeeze on your right hand?
Because my left stick is not jerky ever. You know what I mean?
Well, but it doesn't impact that. I'm just saying, whatever stick you're pulling the trigger on, you want to have it stable if that stick is also the one that you're aiming with pitch and yaw. Now, of course,
speaking of
course you can. What? Yeah. Speaking of what?
Dogfighting. While we're speaking about all these wonderful technicalities between HOTAS and sticking and all that, what type of dogfighting style do you use? Brawler, ambusher? Do you like to go out and hunt them? Do you like to chase them? Do you just say, "Hey, I ran into you. Congratulations, you're the new one"?
I live in the moment. I live in the moment, sir.
So the last one, gotcha. Okay.
Whichever it is. Like today I was talking to the guys in chat in my stream and just sitting still, and somebody snuck up on me, started shooting at me, and you become whatever instinctual. But sometimes, normally, like me and this guy Locros, we're like constantly running wingman teams. You know, I don't leave my wingman. We run together. People are like, "Oh, why won't you 1v1 me?" And like, I don't leave my wingman. Like,
so do you kamikaze ever? Do you just ever say fuck
never.
it? You never kamikaze? Never intentionally.
Nope, not intentionally. No.
Oh well, come on, man.
Because I don't, you know, although I own the ship in Star Citizen, I look at it as if I don't own the ship and the taxpayers own it. You know, so all the flight lessons I know I learned from Top Gun. I will say it. Man. Just call me Maverick.
Pardon me, I was inverted.
Yes, that's right. I've done that maneuver before in Star Citizen. So.
I did that at I was in a freelancer. We are actually, it's in one of the videos that I was streaming earlier. That we were in one person was in the Starfarer, and I was in a freelancer, and I jumped back out to like get them and whatever. He was drifting, and so I was pulled up alongside him, like trying, but there was too much desync. So like we would line up, and I'd be within like 50 meters of him, and we're drifting at like 900 or 450, you know, at full super cruise speed, and then like the ship would bounce through me and throw me off, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I cannot wait for the back end code to get cleaned up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, I live in the moment. You know, it's like it depends on the moment's going to dictate what kind of dogfighter I'm going to be. But normally I have something for every occasion. You know, whether it be I get exploded or I run away, I have something for every occasion.
Well, you know, and at the end of the day, that's the thing is it's all about shifting your stance and body position. It's like wrestling. You know, you whatever they do, you got to shift with it and against it, or you know what I mean. You gotta have tricks up your sleeve. If they joust, then you got to be able to have an answer to it. If they circle strafe, you got to be able to shift out of that into something else to.
Parry, parry, thrust, yeah. Parry, parry, thrust.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end because we've definitely run pretty long. Thanks for hanging in there with us. You can tell you're a pro streamer because you're like, I've got this. It's fine.
Yeah, it's no worries, man.
As long as we're not keeping you up too late. I know. Vadron and I we're early birds.
Right? Oh no.
But,
not by choice.
Oh, yeah, it's 11 here. Just remember, I live in the future from you. So.
That's right.
Nice.
I loved when I lived in Japan because there was no time shift for us. It was like we were the first time zone.
Nice.
The farthest future that you could go.
Wow.
So, what kind of games do you favor the most?
Flight games.
What's that?
Flight games. I play pretty much all flight games. Nice. I play. I played all the Ace Combat series. I play Digital Combat Simulator (DCS). Nice. A lot of. So yeah, atmospheric flight is awesome. That's like I grew up with atmospheric flight. You know, I grew up in a naval aviator family. So, but when it came to 6 Degrees of Freedom, you never had it before. Like you
have to retrain yourself to the.
No, because like Battlestar Galactica Online, they had this button that you push for Newtonian flight, which was called the slide button, right? Yeah. And so you still had sort of 6 Degrees of Freedom, but it was timed. You had you could only slide for so long, and then it would have to cool down and stuff.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so it was kind of lame, but you know it was whatever. So that was like my first 6 Degrees of Freedom game, and I always said, it would be so awesome if I didn't have to like have a timer on this slide button, and I could just do it all the time because like that is the way to fly in space because there's so.
It's like you want to feel that you're pushing off of things with your thrusters so that you
yeah, and it's great, man. It's really great, and I've been playing it now since the first iteration of. Arena Commander, and I think I'm getting pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, I love decoupled, so I'm very. I feel like over the years, players are going to eventually migrate to it because it's going to be. I mean, it's not always the right solution. I mean, there's reasons where you would switch to coupled occasionally, but I feel like decoupled is just the stronger overall flight stance, and eventually people will adopt it. So.
I felt the same way about decoupled when and now I have it even mapped onto joystick, but I rarely use decoupled flight. I just I use zero thrust and all.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but but that's just the way it's coded for Star Citizen, so that kind of works the same way. It's like, you know, because as soon as you let off, your ship stabilizes back to 0, right? But your strafes function outside.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So in decoupled mode, to me, if I ever do use it, it's just to lock a steady course in one direction, right. Which is essentially that's what the slide button was in Battlestar Galactica. So you're going one direction, you hit the slide button, you can turn around and shoot backwards. You know, like that's what decoupled is to me.
Yeah, I like it, and I like that flight style too. Like when I was, because my configuration has changed mightily over the last few years. I've looked at everything. The only thing I didn't end up doing is I never did pick up one of those 3D mouses, because for all the reports I heard, it was an absolute nightmare getting it to work with Star Citizen. Although it was still tempting, the idea of being able to, like, you know, lift your one-handed mouse and control all 6 directions from that. But then that mouse didn't have enough buttons, so again, you would yet another device that was not designed for a space sim.
Right.
So, yeah.
And even like the Thrustmasters, I love my Thrustmasters, but there's not enough buttons on them, man. My Logitech, so I could show you. I started off dual sticking with dual Logitech Extreme 3D Pros.
The girl has hers on the table next to her.
Well, I built a left-handed version.
Yep.
So I have a right and a left-handed version. And the buttons on the Logitech are so much better, I think, because like just the placement of them. You know, I like having the thumb buttons there. I like having the 4 around the hat. Yeah. You know, and so there's some things like I wish that I could bring into this stick, and it would make this stick perfect. You know.
Well, the lovely thing about the Warthogs is they use the HAL sensors.
Yeah,
those are amazing. Like, I have those in my Thrustmaster, but I mean, I have the big Warthog stick.
Right.
So I like that. And then my pedals are the Crosswinds. So they've got HAL sensors for for roll and for the pedals. And that's it's like I went back to flying on the SciTech pedals, and I about cried because I was like, this sucks so bad.
Yeah, they're nice. Those are a nice pedal set. Yeah. And the T16000M use the same Hall sensor so that's nice too. The only difference, like the main difference, is mine are plastic and yours are metal. You know, so
I've unboxed them out at Fry's Electronics just to look at it, and I think because my girl, she has the same throttle, and then she's got the SciTech pedals, and she's got the Logitech stick. So I want to change her over to the Thrustmaster. Yeah.
Yeah, for under $100 you get both of them. Like, that's a great deal, man.
Yeah, and so I mean, we'll still keep her on her throttle, and we'll do the Warthog stick. But part of the reason I want to do that is eventually we'll get her the nice stick, the full metal one, and then we can take that extra stick and I can swap it in and see if I do like the.
You'll like it better. You like it better than the throttle, man. I'm telling you. I tell Scuba Steve this all the time. I'm telling you, we have this conversation all the time. So there's a guy, Skyhawk YT. I don't know if he has a Thrustmaster Warthog for his right stick and a T16000 for his left stick, and he also has a throttle. I don't know if he switches off between the two or what, but I know he has the full setup.
I just don't want to lose between losing the buttons and losing that extra push axis of up and down, of, you know, the throttle up, throttle down axis.
I don't miss that at all. Like, I have full throttle and no throttle mapped to my one hat.
Yeah.
So I go either full throttle, no throttle if I use it. But otherwise, you know, you push forward, you got full thrust. You push backward, you got full reverse. You know, you stand neutral, you're stopped. So it's.
I guess the thing with that is I just like having because I can pull the throttle a little bit and let go, and it'll maintain that speed. And that's the thing, is it's just there is no perfect solution right now, and it drives
So here's
me
the perfect solution. Traz, here's the perfect solution. You push forward on the thrust, and you hit decouple. Now you're going to a set steady speed.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, possibly a little bit. You can do that.
There you go.
Use that to lock in the direction. I guess. Well, I mean, and that is kind of how I fly now, because I can just love tap it, and I know that I'm going to keep drifting in that direction until I apply counter thrust.
And you can go 0 thrust and decoupled, and it's not going to change your forward momentum speed. So
what pisses me off is that because of the way the system works now, is when I go to space brake, if I'm decoupled and my throttle's at some weird setting from before I coupled it, and I go to space brake because I'm slowing down, it will accelerate me before it slows me back down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The number of times I've face wrecked into the side of something while I'm doing like some precision landing just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jeremy's going to kill us because we're,
Yeah.
I got it. Jeremy ain't going to kill you. You see who's going to kill you, right?
All right. Well, yeah. Let's move on. Sorry.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, then
we need to speed round. Let's go. Do I have any close friends or family that play SC with? Yes. Does the missus intend to sally forth and play the Dark Verse with you? No, she has no interest. What kind of gaming community you want to grow with? Hardcore, org, fly solo, all of the above.
There you go.
Good answer.
Any favorite game mechanics from other games you wish you could see in Star Citizen? We already discussed that with 6 Degrees of Freedom.
Yep.
Wrap up guest interview conversation.
Yeah, we can move up the rest. So, all right, Adrian, what about your trivia question? You going to punch that out?
Yeah, we've already got the rapid fires, don't we? We'll go ahead and actually do the trivia. So the rule of the trivia is simple. You can go ahead and you can try to get the answer to this question right in 30 seconds. I'll give you a $5 credit, $5 SIP skin, whatever you can do. Now, the people out there that are listening also get to have a shot at this too, but the rule is that if you get it wrong, that's when they get to have a shot at it. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the show, when the music cuts off, I'll give the answer to the question. All right, so this planet, this orbital body in our system is actually the second best possibility for having microbial life next to Mars. What's the name of it?
I want to say it's Titan, but hang on. Let me see. I'll give you a final answer when I think about this for a second. I know it's one of the moons of Saturn.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity.
Europa. No, not Europa. That's Jupiter. Is it Europa? You could do whatever you want with the whole... Okay, 2010 reference. Hang on. Damn you, ADHD. Oh, hang on. Let's go with Titan. I'll say Titan final answer.
Titan is your answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wrong answer.
All right. So I guess that gives the rest of the community till we finish the show up, right? And then
I bet Scuba Steve. Quick, get to Google.
That's right. Google. cheat. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes. All right, man. So that was from a past show. Yeah, well, I'm glad you tried. I never get his trivia questions either, so don't feel too bad. Is it Europa? Because that's Scuba Steve's answer.
It's Europa.
Oh, you had it on the first one.
I knew it. That's what they said in 2010. See.
There you go.
That's all right. Scuba Steve deserves it more than I do anyway.
There you go.
All right, well,
go ahead.
Y'all have to get the information from him in a bit. Maybe.
I'll need to have Scuba's information, so...
Roger that.
Roger.
Thank you.
Scuba Steve,
right,
which message your information to Ion Traz, courtesy of Twitch. You know how to do Twitch message.
There you go.
Yep. All right, man. Hey, thanks for coming on our show. It's been an absolute blast. Appreciate the short notice. We had another guest lined up, and their work schedule just didn't allow it, and I guess there was some communication droppage, and we just didn't find out until the last minute. And so hopefully we'll do a different show for them where we record on an off day, but we much prefer doing it live. It's a lot more fun, and it doesn't require doing it twice.
Yeah, there you go.
Mainly. But
yeah, we kind of babysit and play, and we're flying while we're answering questions. So I think we have a little bit of fun with that. Come on now, let's not deny that.
So give us your Twitch stream again. So if anybody here isn't already a follower of yours, they can check out your stuff. Plus, we need to too, because I'm gonna come over and follow that.
Check.
Well,
you can also just click on my name right here in chat and click the follow button if you'd like. But it's twitch.tv and then my name. Hold on. I put it in there. I'm terrible at typing on the second.
If you want, I want to get with Scuba Steve. Is he a subscriber? I can actually get him some sub flare. Sorry.
Yeah, Scuba Steve is a completionist package holder.
Very nice. He's like, I don't need your shit.
No, that's total Kappa. I bust out of all the time because he's got a javelin and I don't. So
there you go. There you go.
And the thing with that is like I won recently on a Twitch stream or what was it? Was it Twitch? We were doing I was actually helping support the stream and I managed to win something. So on the one hand, I felt really bad, but on the second hand, I took what I'd won and I took the ship because I already owned it, and I gave it away. I raffled it off to help build more stuff. So I ended up winning Ben's Hall B.
What did he name it?
Yeah,
what did he name it?
I'm not telling you what the name is. Not on air.
Okay.
Okay. But it's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about that. So
that's
it's kind of cool. So I actually own a ship that not that you can own pixels or sign them, but I've got a Ben ship. It makes me happy.
My goodness! It should come like its own like little bitty insignia on the back.
It should have some extra flair.
You should just wait until they have like the skin editor, right? And then have Ben like draw his pictures on the wing or something.
Dude, what was that old?
Awesome.
What was that? Like somebody was here, like you'd have like this little drawing in World War II. I can't remember the name of the guy. Like it's just a little bit odd ass reference. It should be like Ben was here, and it has like the dude there instead, just like etched into the side panel of the ship.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't remember the term for it. I'm sorry.
I can't remember what it is. It's an army thing, man. Come on, leaving me hanging.
I just don't know. I'm just a little buck sergeant.
Oh, guys. Speaking of that, so you guys are both Army. I'm Navy.
No. He's a contractor and he works with the Navy.
Bingo.
Yeah. I'm
Kilroy was here.
I'm rocking my DD-214. If you can't tell.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey,
that's the most important piece of paper I've ever owned in my life. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, there has been talk of an Army Navy squadron battle.
By the way, if you look at the stream, you can see me getting in my sexy Ghost with my loadout.
Nice.
Rocking the flash fire and the M6A on the top and the M5As under the nose and wings. But anyway.
That begs the question: how does a guy actually, assuming that they didn't prepare right, how do they actually shave out in space? Could you like come out with like helmet beard or something?
Laser shave, man.
Laser shave.
Yeah,
wow.
You stick your face in a little thing and it just lasers it all off.
But hang on though, we don't even have caution lights yet.
That's right.
So how would that be a good idea?
They can figure laser shavers out, but they can't figure out a fuel light. That's it. You've picked up on one of my major gripes of this game.
There you go.
I was going to ask for a refund if I didn't get my, my fuel light. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm totally going to go Derek Smart and be like, this is bullshit.
They don't have a fuel light.
It's never going to get finished. How can 900 years in the future they don't even have a fuel light?
Don't smart rage. It's not smart.
Oh my God. I'm just saying. Smart fire dumb missiles or dumb fire smart missiles.
All right, so Scuba Steve, one ticket. Steve has won your trivia, and you guys have abused me enough for one evening, I believe.
Yes, we must roll on out of here. So, any last commentary, Adrian?
Go follow the Zulu. Go join the Zulu group. Tell them.
Yes, go join Zulu. Definitely. All right. Well, anyway, so shout out to our audience. Hey guys, thank you for spending your listening time with us. Really appreciate it here at Station 42. If you have any comments or requests, hit us up in the comments. We'll have it up on YouTube. Hit us at Facebook. Send us a homing pigeon. All of the above. Whatever you need to do. Vadron?
I'm getting abused. Hang on. It happens, right? Hey.
I'll just speak in Vadron's voice.
There you go.
Yes, if you want to hear from you, if you want to...
Hey. You're funny.
Is that Vadron's mom?
No, that's not, I promise.
Vadron, is that your daughter?
That's not my daughter either, promise. She says hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for suffering us.
Oh, dear goodness. Yes, if you want to hear from our show, we can't really wait to hear from you. Please give us a like and subscribe. Please, that keeps us motivated. She's trying to kill me and pick my nose on air. That's awesome. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next week. Help.
All right. Engaging that, full Monty warp core drive. Grab onto something, because here we go. Well, if I can find it.